Okay, so we have our CocoonE harness in packed condition, and there is a wooden seat plate at present time, so its weight is 2.9 kilos. Of course it is without the reserve. Okay, so I unpack it. So this is a standard sort of dome or nosing that is filled in with an air during the flight, as they use on most of light CocoonE present time. So this is the side part of the harness, where we have air inlet. In the upper part of this side panel we have a rescue compartment, and in the lower side there is a baggage compartment. It's important that all these zones should be filled with something, because it is necessary to fill the airbag properly and to use inflatable elements properly, which will help us to inflate the airbag before the launch. These inflatable elements are inputted into special pockets, so they help us to fill in the airbag. I use now sausage balloons, which work more or less okay. Of course, one need to change them after the flight, but they're very cheap, and normally they do not explode during pumping. Basically, we need these inflatable elements only during the launch. After that, they can explode in there. It's not really important, because our airbag already will be filled with air. But in real life they do not explode, and they can live up to a couple of days after that. There are different kind of pumps. I have the lightest one, this blue one that you can see, but it's not the most convenient and quick. So we need to input this sausage balloon inside the airbag into special pockets. Okay, first of all I will input my rescue into the rescue department. It's pretty big, even for my 5 liters rescue. So first of all I put special piece of foam. Now I put my reserve. It's a big one. I have a small one in front container. So I spent some time with fixing a handle because it was not convenient to do it without special pieces of line. Okay, so we fixed our rescue. Now we need to input these sausage balloons inside the airbag. So we need 2 of them. There is a special pocket inside, so I input the balloon through it. Until it reached my sort of neck region, and I fix it with Velcro. Now the same procedure with the second one. So that's it. Now we have to fill the baggage compartment. For example, my jean rucksack fits perfectly inside this. If I pack it tightly, it fits perfectly inside this baggage compartment and fills in 100%. Another variant, I have a special moose bag. I can put it into the baggage compartment, or if I do not want to use my main reserve, I can put it into the reserve compartment. Now I put it into the baggage compartment and close the door. This is my front container with small swing escape reserve. Plus I have a special thing at the top of it. It is intended for inputting a smartphone into it and using it as a flight computer. So smartphone is clicked into this device and you have a flight computer on the top of your cockpit. It's pretty convenient, and sound do not disturb you. A lot of modern smartphones now have not only GPS but barometer as well. So basically you can use a smartphone as flight computer and variometer. So I'm closing the compartment for baggage. So now my airbag is fully prepared for flight. As you see, this in front of the seat it is filled with rescue and moose bag, and all the rest, all the most important region under your ass and back is filled with air. Let's say 80% filled with air. So the last 20% will come inside at first couple of seconds of flight. And after that, this tail cone will start to inflate. It takes it maybe 15-20 seconds to fill fully.
Так, что здесь еще важно?
Well, this is a semi-flexible bag to give a pilot sort of convenience and comfort, plus wooden seat plate that I'm going to change to carbon seat plate, because carbon is around 250 grams lighter. As you see, almost everywhere I used Dyneema lines, 3mm Leros D Pro line. For example, my back is fixed and regulated with 2 Dyneema lines. Please pay attention to this flexible buckles that are made through this how it is called, splice technology. It's when you put line through itself and take it out through the wall of the line and make a knot after that. So at the end of the day you have very light and very strong way of changing its length. So almost of all my lines were made from this Dyneema, 3mm Dyneema, and they're regulated with the help of this splice type of buckle. And for the main strap I used more or less ordinary polypropylene or polyamide strap, but it was strengthened with 3mm D Pro as well. So the only metal buckle that I use is on this brass strap, because I need to regulate its length during the flight. I did not do any buckles on leg straps. Okay, on CocoonE I also use this splice type of buckles with a knot, but in general the construction of a pod is pretty standard. There is nothing really interesting. The only thing that most of this pod is made from ordinary material, not flexible material, not neoprene. It only lasts 20 centimeters near my feet, are made from flexible material. So it saves weight and it's windproof, which is good, at least for Russia. And of course we have this inlet with special valves not to permit air to come out easily. It should come out during some accident, but not as easy as come in. Well, this construction was just copied from sort of standard airbag that we have on the market and that was certified. So at the end of the day we have almost fully filled airbag before launch, around 30 centimeters thick. Basically it's not 30, it's around 35. And this tail cone is filled in 15-20 seconds. Unfortunately I didn't have a possibility to fill in it right now because there was no electric socket. No wind. Well, the small reserve is used as a cockpit. Well, I understand that my video is not the best quality to understand the construction, but it's pretty difficult to make good video on one hand. I also wanted to recommend the usage of the sausage balloons. Well, on first sight, let's say maybe they are not strong enough and so on, but in reality they're pretty convenient, and I spend, let's say, I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes to inflate them and input them into my harness. But of course, if somebody will produce such kind of harness, it's better to make these inflatable elements permanent and not disposable. And the only problem is that the walls of these inflatable elements should be flexible. As far as I know, they use such kind of material for summer kiting, for summer kites, inflatable kites. But I do not have such technology. There are, yeah, by the way, inside my airbag I also have 3 flexible rods or wires similar to wires that wing producers now use as how they're called, rigifoil. So these flexible rods help me to have better geometry of the airbag before launch. They're perpendicular to the sausage balloons inside an airbag. But for me, the sausage balloons are okay. because I can't do anything better. And they're very light, really light. Together with the pump, their weight is around 15 grams, and they cost nothing. Okay, that's it.